Apparently, Wolverine 3 is targeting an R rating. There's a photo going around the internet that shows a pamphlet at a toy fair promoting Wolverine 3. You have director James Mangold, who directed the previous Wolverine movie, Hugh Jackman's name on there as well, with an R-rated anticipation. So, is this a direct result of Deadpool and its success? Was Fox always planning in Wolverine 3 R-rated? What do you guys think?
I don't think Fox was always planning it because I think they were kind of going to go the same route as The Wolverine, which Mangold directed as well. I think it's a direct. It's hard to say. I think a lot of it does have to do with Deadpool because they are very similar characters. Deadpool goes about his business in a different way, and it is a little bit more harsh with him, but Wolverine is just as brutal and deadly as Deadpool is. And I don't know if either of you have seen the unrated version of The Wolverine, but it's absolutely incredible. Like, it's insanely
Is there really
good.
that big of a difference?
Yeah, it's
Just
insanely
with the
good.
violence and the gore?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's really, really good. And like they would cut it back a little bit to do R, but I think we had talked about this last week on Movie Talk or on Movie News, but I think a Wolverine rated R movie would be really good. Like I think it's what it would need, like kind of to send off Hugh Jackman the right way. And we've talked about the storyline a long time, but if they in fact do, the Logan storyline where he's an old man Logan, it fits R. Like that's what it needs to be. So it makes sense. But to answer your question, I think it is a direct thing leaked to Deadpool because of its success and Kingsman from last year. Because that was rated R comic movie.
And it's all 20th Century Fox.
Yeah,
as
so
well.
I think they're seeing that rated R movies are doing well, and in February, and who knows what it can do in a summer season release date. But it doesn't necessarily need to happen, but would I want to see it? Hell yeah.
Cool. For me, I'm totally fine if they make a rated R Wolverine film. I'm fine if they make a PG-13 version. I think Deadpool succeeding makes it more likely to be rated R, but I don't think Wolverine has to be rated R. I don't. It's Deadpool is a specific character to set up to do what you did in that movie. It had to be rated R. If you take away the R rating, that is a totally different movie completely. Look what they were able to do with The Wolverine. You just added the violence and the gore. I don't know what else was added, maybe a few more F-bombs or something, but you didn't have to add that much to make it rated R. If you take away that stuff from the Wolverine special edition rated R version, you still have the original Wolverine, which I haven't watched the other one, but I'm pretty sure they're not that much difference as far as the storytelling and the tone and everything, right? With Deadpool, it would have been way different if it was PG-13. So for me, Wolverine 3 doesn't have to be rated R. I don't want them to force excessive gore, excessive violence, and excessive cursing, just to make Wolverine 3. But I'm curious, I haven't read the original source material, so what in Old Man Logan would have to make it rated R? Because have you read it? Or you're familiar with the story,
read it.
Right?
It's been a while, but it's...
Doesn't he suffer a family tragedy?
Yeah, there's... his family dies, and,
Okay.
it's an apocalyptic world. It's a Mad Max version of the Wolverine, basically. That's kind of what it is.
Okay.
And because he's going across the wasteland of the apocalyptic
like
world.
a Book of Eli kind of thing?
Yeah, there's even a better reference, like a Book of Eli thing, and the Hulk is the bad guy, but obviously that's not going to work.
Is Hawkeye in the comic books? Hawkeye's with him on this road trip.
Blind Hawkeye.
Oh wow! And he's still able to hit stuff
Yeah.
with his bow.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
So it's just them two.
It's them two. Well, they meet characters along the way, but it's
Yeah,
them two.
but it's
yeah.
them two on the ride. That's
Yeah.
so random. I love that they put two characters like that in the comics together.
Yeah.
But obviously they can't use Hulk or Hawkeye.
That's why people have said replace the Hulk with the Blob, and replace Hawkeye. We've said Cyclops.
Yeah, I feel like. It sounds. I don't know how this would work action-wise. Professor X is super powerful, actually, so it could work. But it could be Professor X because
true.
He's
very
most
true.
likely going to be in the movie.
Yes.
So that puts the bad guys at a disadvantage because Professor X is really powerful. At first I was going to say how's he going to fight, but he's Professor X. Well, anyways, look, if they announce Wolverine 3 is going to be rated R, I'll be happy. I just hope it's not at the cost of the story.
No, I think I agree with you because you were saying like it doesn't need to be rated R because Deadpool is rated R. Like Deadpool would be different, and at the same time, it would be cool to see a PG-13 Last Wolverine because you can keep Deadpool unique and rated R. Like he would be the only character movie that is rated R, and that's the only time you get to see it. Where everything else X-Men is PG-13. But like you said, I mean, I would be happy if I saw rated R. But either way, I'm just excited.
And who knows? Maybe Deadpool can make a cameo, and if it is rated R,
I think there's a high chance
you don't have to change Deadpool
because
if it is rated R.
Not just because Fox wants to do it, but I think Hugh Jackman wants some payback on Ryan Reynolds for all the jokes he made in Deadpool.
And redemption for their only other time on screen together in the X-Men universe in Origins.
And Gio had posted a thing online earlier this week, but the interview those two had together,
hilarious.
Like those two they're so great together.
I was going to ask you guys about that.
Why
it's
not
really
put them
funny.
together in a movie for one last time? It just makes sense.
I think that'll happen in a different movie, X-Force, but we'll see. All right, Gio, how do you feel about this, man?
Look, the way I see it, they're resetting the X-Men universe after Apocalypse. So, and this is Hugh Jackman's apparent last time playing Wolverine. Why not go the R rating? Give the writers and director James Mangold, the creative freedom, the comfort to take Wolverine to certain places where we've only seen him go before. It's much more than the violence. I think about the themes, the tragic, the emotions that we can see the Wolverine character go through. And then you have the blood and all that other stuff. But I will agree with you, Jacob, and say that it doesn't need to be rated R, but I personally want to see a rated R one, especially for the longtime fans of Hugh Jackman, who first saw him play Wolverine as a kid.
Well, that's a good point. All the kids who saw him in 2001 are...
And all these kids today...
15 years older.
Oh, they're older now, so that'll be a cool little send-off.
That'll be a cool little send-off. And plus, let's not act like these parents won't take their kids to go see Wolverine. They want to see Wolverine as much as the kids do, because Hugh Jackman is attractive, and we saw kids at our Deadpool screening.
Yeah. I'm not as worried as I used to be about the R rating hurting the box office, especially after Deadpool. So.
Yeah.